Welcome to Social Media Business, the podcast that covers building, managing, and monetizing social media. Brought to you by online community strategist Laurel Patworth. For more information, go to laurelpatworth.com.
Hello and welcome to Social Media Business, which is the podcast about social media and business, although we also cover government and consumers as well. You can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is SilkCharm, @SilkCharm, and there should be a blog post around this podcast if you want to leave some comments there at laurelpatworth.com. I'm going to be covering questions asked on Twitter using the hashtag #SMB, Social Media Business, and today, and also some questions that have come out of our forum, communitycrew.com/forum, which is a question and answer forum for people looking at setting up Facebook and Twitter and different online communities for their business. So hopefully you can leave a question there, or if you subscribe on iTunes, there's an audio version and a video version. And on YouTube, you can leave questions on YouTube as well. So there's lots of different options for following this podcast and asking questions. The first question is from Nancy White, who's based in Seattle, I think, in America. And she has a great site called Full Circ, like Full Circle, FULLCIRC.com, about online communities. And she asked, what is the funniest thing that's ever happened to me in an online community? And it was an interesting question. I liked it very much straight away. It's actually quite a hard question to answer because things that are funny at the time may not be funny later on. So I have a pick. So the first thing I think that sprung to mind was a young man in one of our forums. It was a 2D forum, like a bulletin board, like VB Bulletin or Simple Forum. And his name is Monkey. And I have to tell you, once you see the name Monkey on one of your forums, they tend to be naughty. They tend to be pushing boundaries a little bit. So this was Monkey spelt with a 0 instead of an O. And if Magnetic is watching this, I'm sure Magnetic will remember Monkey as well. And Monkey was always being banned, but I could only ever temporarily ban him because he never did anything bad enough to be banned permanently. But he was just, he swore all the time. It's like his fingers had Tourette's, so he's always typing the F word and the C word, everything, so ban him. And he was always really apologetic. And what I realized was that he probably one of those guys that swears every second word in real life, and so it's just natural for him to swear when he's typing, and not a particularly good speller. But we had this situation one day where he'd been banned, and I'd banned him for a long time, and he was crying, wanted to come back and join his friends. So let him back into the forum, really strict, no more swearing. I don't care what you have to do, no more swearing. So the very first post he puts up, he does a big open apology to the whole community. I'm so sorry, I've been rude and swearing, and I understand now, and I'm not going to swear anymore. And somebody comes back and says to him, are you kidding us or what? And he just loses the plot again, and he goes off. And then every second word is the effing word, and we had to ban him again for another 6 weeks or something. And he just made me laugh. Even though I was banning him, even though he had the whole forum in uproar, there was something kind of, I don't know, lovable. Maybe I love my community members too much, but there was something quite lovable about him. And that was a long time ago. That must be like 10 years ago. So I really thought that experience was funny. And often the ones that are funny are where the members have been naughty. We had in our virtual world, we had about 20,000 players come on. We were running a special event. We were the in-game moderators, the police in-game. And we decided to run like a sports event where they had to run through monsters that would try and kill them and over mountains. And we had a special wand that created more monsters, and they had to run through fields and forests and through oceans. So think of the triathlon where you're being chased by ogres and evil goblins. And for some unknown reason, one particular guild decided to do it naked. The funny thing in this game is all your status, all your influence, all your power comes from the equipment you wear. You have the magic helmet, the magic breastplate, the sword, the shield, the whole works. You don't take them off, you don't lend them to anyone, you don't give them away, you don't do anything. You sell them for a high price. So the fact that they took off everything, put it in their guild bank, and then ran the whole race butt naked, like the little avatars. I think you can't be completely naked. I think they had like little thong things on, and the screen was just filled up with all these little naked avatars running and being chased by monsters, and I was absolutely in stitches. It was the funniest thing I think I'd seen in a virtual world to that date, and it was a really little 2D isometric game, so not as fully featured as for instance World of Warcraft or some of those new big games, but it was still one of the funniest things I've seen. I could go on all day and all night talking about these sort of things. So Nancy, I hope that's answered your question. Last question. I'm going to read it off of the Community Crew forum because that's where the question was posted. And it's in if you go to communitycrew.com/forum, it's in the Facebook for Business one. And the question's from Carrots Parrots. It says, I am the administrator of a Facebook page, and when I try to tag a photo on the page, I expect a list of the people who like my page to pop up as I begin typing their names. But no, so what I do is manually type in their names, which does nothing. If I do this manual thing, sure, the pic is tagged, but the user does not get notified that I have tagged them. Please help. So I wrote back and said, look, you just have to go into edit page, click on apps, go to the apps, and then under the photo app, you can turn on allow fans to add photos, and then allow fans to tag photos, which allows the fans to do the tagging. And then as Carrots Parrots came back and pointed out, and which I subsequently checked and was true, it doesn't allow the admin to do it. And it doesn't look like you can tag as the admin your friends, so from your personal profile that are in the photos, or fans that are in the photos. And this is quite an issue, because if you've been running an event, a cocktail, a fundraiser, and you've got lots of photos and you want to tag people as an admin, shouldn't you be allowed to? And I've done quite a lot of research, although it looked like there was some sort of changes coming in about a fortnight ago. And of course, I've been in America and traveling and went to Vegas and Disneyland and didn't spend a lot of time looking at Facebook page changes. But it looked like they were bringing in some changes and they were going to make tagging finally work properly. The big issue, of course, is that Facebook is a gated community and every member stands at the gate. And really, this is what people are looking for. They're looking to say, my photo albums are private, my videos are private. You're not shocked if you get 1 million views of a video on YouTube, but you'd be really shocked if you got 1 million views of a video on Facebook as a personal profile, because that's not what you're looking for on Facebook. You're looking to stand at the gate and allow friends in, allow content out that you control. So I guess one of the questions would be, as a community manager, if I was managing Facebook, is what is the best that could happen from tagging in photos and what's the worst? And the worst is pretty bad. First of all, you'd have to absolutely make sure that only people who fan the page could tag photos. You wouldn't want non-fans to be able to tag photos, and you wouldn't want admins to allow people who weren't fans to be tagged, because it means that every salesman out there would just be tagging any product with my name, and I'd be going to look at the photo thinking I was going to see a photo of me, and there's a product with a special offer, come and get it, broadcast advertising into social niches. The problem is really that the admins need this as a tool. They need to be able to list the people that are in the photos that came to their fundraiser or came to their party or came to their opening event. And I think Facebook will bring it in, but I think they're going to make sure that the privacy and the security are really sorted before they do. So I'm sorry, Carrots Parrots, I don't know any more than what I've put up on the forum about how to turn it on. I suggest keeping an eye on it. I think it is changing. If it hasn't changed in the last couple of weeks, it will change again soon. Social media is in flux at the moment. Nothing's too rigid. Things change. And if anybody out there in iTunes or YouTube land knows the answer about how an admin can tag fans in photos placed on the fan page, please let me know. That'll be great. Or let Carrots Parrots know. So, thank you.
Welcome to Social Media Business, the podcast that covers building, managing and monetizing social media. Brought to you by online community strategist Laurel Patworth. For more information, go to laurelpatworth.com.